Narcan, Nate.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, good.
We were just saying that Tank looks like a sourdough toad.
That or, I feel like he's more like a buttermilk biscuit because he's just like, kind of like a little dirty on top but fluffy on the, you know what I mean? Kind of burnt on top and like fluffy in the middle.
He's got the little black spot on top. Like he's like a burnt biscuit.
He is a burnt biscuit.
I know. He's such a baby. How are you, man?
I'm okay. I've been better, but I mean, life's been kind of crazy lately.
Yeah.
Just unpredictable, you know what I mean? I'm burying somebody tomorrow, and then I'm burying someone on Saturday.
Yeah.
Work's been crazy, just kind of wild. I can't really speak on it.
Yeah. Can you talk about the video you sent me from where you were? If you just don't say where you were, because that was the creepiest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. So
check.
Is it on?
Don't.
Is it going in and out?
Yeah.
Okay. You can hear? Yeah. Okay, cool. And then I'll turn up my headphones too. I'm just usually so fucking loud.
Yeah.
You're not gonna argue that?
You get excited.
You're not gonna tell me. You're
no,
like, yeah.
It was more just like I was like, okay.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So you sent me video.
Yeah.
Of your feet.
Yeah.
And some cars.
Yeah.
And it looked like you were in the remnants of a city that had been destroyed by a volcano or like a fire.
Yeah.
And it was really creepy and it was nighttime.
Yeah.
And you said, "Did you know what this is?" And I was like, "It looks like you're in the aftermath of fucking Mount Pinatubo or some shit."
Yeah.
Can you say what it was? You can say what it was because nobody knows where it is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm fairly certain that was a chop shop that I stumbled up on.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's what I think it was.
It was. You don't know?
I mean, well, there was cars there with paperwork in them, and
half stripped.
Some of them stripped, some of them not. And they're in a abandoned warehouse.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like a chop shop to me too.
Yeah.
It looked creepy as hell.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want to be caught in there. I mean,
I was like, "What are you doing?"
I don't think that would have ended well. It probably wouldn't have ended well.
Yeah, no, that was definitely really creepy.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool.
So everything else, I do want to ask you this.
Okay.
I know you got into an argument with your sponsor.
Yeah.
Have you made good with him or found a new one or neither?
We're okay.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
okay, good.
yeah. I mean, I let it slide, but I haven't like really been like talking to him, to be honest with you. I've just been like cruising. Okay.
But you're not still mad at him?
No, I never was mad at him. I was just like, I don't know if I can do this thing with this dude, and and a lot of that's like my shit, to be honest with you. But it's just like I'm trying to work through like my resentments and like this like how I feel about things and trying to just like let that stuff roll off my shoulder, but it's like super hard for me, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like I don't know, I just like that kind of thing I just like don't do well with.
Yeah. Are you still going to meetings ever?
I go to like a couple a month. I went to one in LA. When I was in LA, I went to one.
But you're still sober, right?
Yeah, I'm still sober.
So we got a couple of questions on Instagram.
All right.
And actually we got some really good ones. I was looking at them.
I'm sure they're interesting.
Oh, wait. Why does it say that my Instagram? Hold on. I'm trying to open my Instagram on my old phone.
Yeah.
There we go.
I wonder if it's going to capture me sipping coffee on the mic. It's going to sound like some studious thing, like some sort of like commercial where they're like Folgers commercial. And I'm just sitting there.
Or there are people with this like phobia of hearing people's sounds that their mouth make.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No and they'll get really upset. Yeah, like if they hear like or swallowing, like Skylar a couple of times on his interview, between talking, he was like, and he gulped really loud. No. And so when I gave Matt my notes, I was like, also, he like gulps really loud twice. Can you please cut that out? Because people will be really weird about it. Isn't that funny?
That's crazy. I didn't even know that was so they're like certain ASMR freaks people out.
Yes.
That's wild.
It's called something. It's not going to let me log in on this phone. Let me grab the computer and see if I can get them because I really want to be able to go to like actually answer them. Hold on.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
But yeah, we'll sound very professional drinking coffee into the... Well, it's like real recovery people, you know what I mean? Like sitting around drinking coffee. And I'm such a pre-workout person, as are you.
I know, I already have pre-workout.
Me too.
Yeah.
Bro, I've had pre-workout and another little like coffee, or not a coffee, but like a Focus pre-workout drink.
Yeah.
Also, like an hour ago.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the coffee I'm drinking right now.
I had a Starbucks this morning, then I had
Then pre-workout.
and then I'm having coffee with you.
Did you go to the gym?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to the gym.
What gym are you going to now?
I go to Crunch.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to Crunch.
So before Nate came over, I posted on Instagram and said I'm recording with Nate. Any questions, ask us anything. Okay, so I'm actually going to do the last one first. This one's for you. How has your work in harm reduction changed your personality?
Oh, God. I'm going to be honest with you, like, for real. I'm like, I can be grumpy for sure. Like, grumpy and bitter and that's the downside of it. But outside of that, I would say I'm more empathetic. I'm more understanding. I'm more personal with people.
Do you think it's changed your personality for the better for the most part?
I would say it's elevated some areas of my personality that were already probably good, but there is like a downside to it. And I think like even if you work in public health, if you work in mental health, if you work in recovery, social work, anything of that aspect, and like some people like say they're in the trenches and like, you know, I guess if you work in like detox and treatment, you can say you're in the trenches, but when you're out on the street, that's the trenches. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
if you're a social worker doing home visits where a kid maybe is abused.
Yeah. Trenches. Like that is the trenches. Like, you know, I and the people that do this work are traumatized daily. Yeah. Daily. I mean, I've seen people get their throat cuts. I've seen
You have?
Yeah.
What? Really? You've witnessed that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I've seen, you know, just secondary, you know, people talking about getting like raped and you know, and all that stuff, or like, you know, I've heard people describe like murder scenes where you know, somebody got like brutally murdered, and there's a saying in psychology, like the trauma from that, but I can't think of it. And then, you know, you see like all the systemic harms, you know what I mean? Like I'll give you an example. Like there's so with like the politics of like where this place is at, the city was putting pressure on them to like kind of clean that area up, and they were trying to say, oh, like crime is up, and they were trying to say whatever they were trying to say. And so if you slept in your car, or even in this vicinity of this facility, they would 86 you and like go through a process, and eventually you would get permanently banned from services. Oh, and mind you, this is like the only place to get services over there, right? Yeah. And so if I'm a participant in those services and I would give you food, they would 86 you, and they would continue to do that until they permanently banned you.
As a worker?
No, as
the person.
As a participant.
Okay.
They would probably say something if you were a worker too, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And so just seeing like things like that, you know,
it's hard.
You become bitter.
Yeah.
And it's a constant thing of that nature when they have no place else to go. And the fact of it is that crime didn't go up over there. And honestly, that area probably has a lower crime rate than other areas, because if they knew anything about like how things are handled, or like quote unquote the politics of it, like you can't sell drugs there, you can't do this there, like they'll beat the shit out of you if you burn the spot.
Right.
So that's just how it goes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, does dumb shit happen there? Yeah, dumb shit happens everywhere.
Everywhere.
So like, you see places that won't take people because they're on like Suboxone or methadone, like they won't house them, and it's just like,
that's insane.
Okay, so like,
that's insane.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I get angry, like I'm bitter, I'm grumpy, I'm pissed off. Like I see people get denied services or treated like less than human over the dumbest shit. Yeah. And it's every day.
But you think overall it's benefited your personality?
I think so. I mean, I think over the last year I've been trying to like navigate that, because I've seen like, okay, this is probably an issue.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out how to work through
You've recognized it's an issue that you get bitter and angry and stuff.
Yeah.
And well, just since I've known you, you've acknowledged that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's just, it's hard for it not to like bleed over. You know what I mean? And I try my best not to take it home with me. I try my best to not let it like bleed into other areas of my life, but it's also just like overwhelming. It's just one of those things that I can't even believe that this is something that we even have to have a conversation about.
I know. I know. There was a guy running locally that I know you can't stand. Yeah. Jim, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, Jim. Yeah, fuck Jim.
The county commissioner or whatever.
Yeah,
that
fuck
guy.
Jim.
He posted on his Instagram story once, and I was following him because he was for allowing businesses to operate during COVID.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fucking thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
So I started following him. And then during, something recent, he posted that he said they want to have a needle exchange in this area and this is what it would do.
Yeah.
And it was like, and he meant it as bad, but he was like, provide clean needles, give people a place to go to shoot up heroin or, to do whatever.
Yeah.
It like listed all these things.
Yeah.
And I was reading it and I was like, wait, aren't those actually good things?
Yeah.
I was literally so confused,
I think the thing that people don't understand, and this is usually what I tell people that lean more conservative, like as a taxpayer, if I catch HIV,
right,
you're paying for it.
Right.
And for every person that catches it, that's a couple $1 million over their lifetime.
Totally. Whereas if we give them a clean needle, that actually saves you money.
Yeah.
What do they say when you say that?
Oh, they're usually speechless. Or they like come up with some ridiculous shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now I will say that like if we're doing that, the programs that are doing that, they have to go out and clean the areas that they're serving. If there's discarded and things like you have to stay on top of that. You know what I mean? And so that's a big part of it. We have to handle that. So, that saves us money because people are going to shoot dope. They've been shooting dope, whether there was a needle exchange or not.
Right.
So that is going to save us money that we can reinvest into other areas of that sector.
Sure.
Housing, whatever.
Right.
So as a taxpayer, I don't want to pay for someone catching a preventable disease. For one, I want them to have the best quality of life. And two, like I would rather not pay for it if I could pay for this.
Right.
A needle costs 7 cents.
Right. Totally. Totally. Yeah. You know what, though? I think that one of the main reasons why it does affect your personality is because it's your full-time job. And I think if you get to a place where it's just something you're doing on the side, like even for me, I was managing the studio recently and now I'm just doing it part-time.
Yeah.
And it was like the stress of that, and it's just the fucking studio, was taking up my entire life. Not even my own that I owned.
Yeah.
This one. It was taking up my entire life, and it got to the point where Skylar was like, it's like we own it, but we don't.
Yeah.
And it's like Cybrid again. And I was like, all right, okay. And now that I'm not doing it full time, it definitely doesn't affect me as much.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is like, it's my job too, but I'm and I say this humbly, but I'm so known that everybody reaches out to me.
Yeah.
And that's like a blessing.
Yeah.
But
it's
it's
hard.
But it's also a curse.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then like if I like people be trying to come at me some kind of way if I don't respond soon enough and like all them like, are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
And so it's just, I don't know. I've been trying to like, I took a step back a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just been trying to like I'll give shows to people like there's a show. I'll like, hey, you can do this show, like whatever, and just trying to like navigate this sort of to where it doesn't take up so much of my life and saying like no to things and stuff like that. There's sometimes like I won't engage. It's a very difficult thing to like, because we're talking like people's lives. You know what I mean? And like I don't know if I guess it's a good thing that I care about people. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't care this much. You know what I mean? Or
totally.
I was ignorant or something.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
But you know what? Sometimes I do wish I was ignorant because I wouldn't know what I know and I could just remain stupid. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Right. Okay. And this is for both of us. Has your perception of recovery, addiction, and consequences changed or evolved with time? So I don't really know what they mean by consequences, but I will say my perception of recovery and addiction has changed a lot in that when I started, I only considered 12-step abstinence recovery. That's it. Now, I think that recovery is a recovered life, whatever that looks like. Because, like, the longer I've been doing the show, I've met people that were heroin addicts for a long time, and now they drink once a year. I'm not suggesting somebody try that. I'm not going to try that because it's not worth it to me. But, like, my idea of recovery and addiction has evolved a lot over time. Has yours?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've told people that I didn't always have this mindset or this framework or whatever in my head. My old sponsor in Tennessee, his grand sponsor was Greg P. Greg P. wrote the Triangle of Self-Obsession for Narcotics Anonymous.
Oh, okay.
So I was...
That's my favorite information pack.
Yeah,
pamphlet.
so I was very, like...
12-step.
A Nazi, that's what they call them. They call them 12-step Nazis,
right,
you know what I mean? So very, very much. And then over time, it just changed, you know what I mean? And just having different experiences with people and listening to people that had different experiences and remaining open-minded. I have friends that have been in chaotic use, and they even use their substance of choice now, and it's not chaotic. They run businesses.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And so, I, even though that doesn't fit, like, whatever preconceived idea I have about, like, recovery or whatever, the fact is like, their use is not the same.
Right.
And they're running a business.
Right.
And I know people that don't do anything and they don't have a business.
Right.
It's, like, undeniable.
That's what I mean. I think if you look at the person's life, that's recovery.
Yeah.
A recovered life, which is a life where you live a quality life day to day, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
That can be a recovered life.
Yeah.
I will say, though, I am personally glad, I want to be clear, I'm glad that I do 12-step. I like being completely sober.
Yeah.
I do. For me.
Yeah.
But yes, my concepts of what that looks like for other people has changed a lot.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's definitely changed for me too.
Okay, this also says for both of you. What is one specific moment in life that was the most transformative for you? So I saw this earlier. I know. So I had a minute to think about it. And I wanted to share something that I've never shared on the show before. So, or if I did, it was a really long time ago because we have millions, right? So just like probably pick one. But I know one that was really transformative for me in this round of sobriety. So 2015, I'm taking the bus to teach spin down in Encinitas. I'm working for my friend Jana, who I now work with again at the studio I end up owning, right? And I had been an instructor in the past, and I had lost all of my jobs, and I was super fucking embarrassed. And we added a new class, like a Friday noon. And the first one I taught was sold out. And afterwards, she was like, yay, that was so great. And I said, oh, thank you. And she said, you're the star of the studio. And I had like maybe like 60 days. And to her, I was like, well, yeah, like, thank you. Okay. And then I walked to the bus stop. And when I got to the bus stop, I literally hit my knees and started crying. I was so fucking grateful that I had done something good finally again, you know? And that for me was really transformative because she is where I was trying to get back to. Like, she's a regular adult with a job and a business and a car. And I felt like I had not been a regular adult in a really long time. And so and especially a woman, a sophisticated woman in that space, for her to like see me do well and acknowledge that. And she didn't know anything about my life. She did not know I was living a sober living. She didn't even know I was taking the bus yet. So that for me was definitely really transformative.
It's a pretty powerful story.
Right?
Yeah, that's a really deep question. That would have been cool to know before I talk about putting somebody on a damn spot. I should have
told you. We could also just think about it and come back to it.
Let's come back to that question.
Would Nate date a single mom?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't. Single moms are cool.
Yeah,
you know
I was going to say that would surprise. I would not expect you to say no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I don't have anything against moms. I mean, MILFs are cool. You know what I mean? Who doesn't like MILFs? You know what I mean? Yeah, it would be it would be different for me. Like it would be an adjustment. Like you know, like I don't know how to be a dad, dude. Like
right,
you know, or if you're like
it would be an adjustment.
It would be an adjustment, and like
but you're not closed to it.
No, I'm not. Well, yeah, I'm not closed to really anything.
Right,
you know what I mean? But yeah, like no, I would. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that.
Okay. Yeah. This one is going to drive you fucking insane.
Oh God.
Does Narcan promote drug use?
They're trying to get me riled.
I almost tagged you on something last week. Did you see the haunted house? I said it's a haunted house, but it's your connect saying he's 5 minutes away forever and ever, and he never shows. It's a haunted house, but it's phased.
Yeah.
The last one I said was it's a haunted house, but it's your dad saying Narcan encourages drug use. Some dumb bitch wrote in the comments, but it does.
Oh, that's dumb as fuck.
And I started to be cool, and I was like, well, it doesn't. That's not what the data shows. But, you know, like, and she said something about her baby daddy's using. She's mad. And I said, but I understand in your specific situation, you're probably very frustrated with, like, opiate addicts in general, blah, blah, blah. And then she came back and was such a bitch. And then I started to argue, and I just blocked her.
Oh,
it's what I usually do, but I was this close to tagging you and Chauncey. Yeah. But then I didn't want to rile you up, but I was so close to tagging you and Chauncey.
I mean, I would have said something. It wouldn't have bothered me. I'd have probably made her cry.
Well, that's what I wanted because she was being really mean to me.
Yeah.
She was being really rude.
I would have definitely made her cry for you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I should have fucking done it.
Yeah, you should have.
So, but what's the answer to that?
I mean, the only alternative to not having Narcan is fucking death.
Right. Well, her next comment was a dead junkie is better than a junkie on the street. She said something like that. I
mean, well, then I guess that is a very sick individual. That's problematic. You know what I mean? Right. But no, even if we didn't have Narcan or naloxone or any of that, and we just save people through CPR, you know what I mean? Or rescue breathing or whatever, and I survive. If I want to use, I'm going to use. You know what I mean? There was never there was never a time when I was like, oh shucks, I can't get high because I don't have Narcan. You know, like fuck.
Right.
You know?
Totally. Exactly. No, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
No one ever thinks like, no one that's using, if they don't have Narcan that day, is like, well, I guess today's the day I get clean.
Yeah.
That's not how it fucking works.
Yeah.
Also, what you don't understand if you're not a drug addict is, this might sound stupid to you if you're a civilian, but like, no drug addicts think they're going to overdose.
Yeah.
So we're not ever thinking like, oh, it's cool if I use, because even if I overdose, which is certainly inevitable, there is Narcan. We don't think that.
Yeah.
You feel like it's not going to happen to you. And I guess I shouldn't speak for drug addicts currently with fentanyl. Mm-hmm. Do they know it's a real risk every day?
Yeah, I mean, they know. I mean, they...
But the presence of Narcan doesn't keep them going, right?
No, I mean, they would. I mean, if I'm dependent on it, I'm going to use it regardless. Right. You know what I mean? Or I mean, and even if I wasn't, if I was going through some things and I wanted to change how I felt, I don't think that would deter me.
Right.
If I really wanted to get high, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Also, my other answer to that is this. I know this dumb girl can say a dead junkie's a good junkie. You could say that. That's fine. But, like, here's the reality. I overdosed in the Angelos and Oceanside once, right? Like, I overdosed under the urinal in the men's room.
I bet that was a greasy fucking place to fucking overdose. Like, oh my, that, like, I don't, like, that is
I
like.
ever told you that story?
That has got to be the, like, I'd say it was greasier there than on the pavement.
Dude. So I was in the men's room too. Oh. And listen to me, dude, if I had died in the men's room of a fast food restaurant, my poor fucking parents, if they'd found me under a urinal in a men's room on the fucking PCH, dude, in Oceanside. So I'm in the bathroom and I didn't know how to hit myself yet, right? I went through this period of harm reduction where I didn't know how to hit myself. Right. And I'd literally go like this. And he would do it. Right. And I never knew how much was coming. No idea.
Right.
So...
he was probably fucking you over, too.
I think sometimes he was.
Damn right he was.
But also, I have friends... I'm actually interviewing this guy soon. Yeah. One guy that used with us hardcore has agreed to interview. He's sober now, too, for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And he told me that it really seemed sometimes like Evan was trying to kill me. Like, it would be so full and black that when he would draw back, like the plunger would fall out the back, like my blood would push it out, like that's how full it was. And my friend Chris, who I'm going to interview, would just be like, bro, like she's pretty small, dude. And he would just like, and I'd go dark. And there was times when he was like, is this like a murder-suicide situation? Like, it was bad.
Damn, that's a crazy situation to
I
be.
know. I know. And I had to wait for him to wake up in the mornings, and he was like, he would control me that way with it. Like, I had to give him the dope. Because, like, a lot of the hustles were mine. Yeah. And as soon as I got back, I was like a 50s housewife, but junkie style. Yeah. Where as soon as I got back, he'd be like, and I'd have to give him the dope. Otherwise, he wouldn't hit me.
You should have just boofed that shit. Swear to God.
I wanted the needle. Also, I didn't know about boofing. If I had known about boofing, I would have tried it for sure.
You should have just,
But I didn't know, you know?
Hell yeah, that's what I would have done.
So, well, what I ultimately did was just I learned how to do it myself.
Right.
But for a long time, I didn't, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of those times, and I was talking, shockingly, and I was like telling him some story, and he hit me and turned around. And he said later that he realized that, like, I'd stopped speaking. And when he turned back around, I was slumped under the urinal, like, gone. Like, actual, not nodded out, like, not breathing. And he had been trying to hit for a minute, so, like, he didn't know how long I had been like that. And he was like, oh, no. So he dragged me out from under the urinal, brought me out to the grass. And, you know, he's a former Marine, so he did actually, like, know CPR. So he was, like, doing CPR, and a friend of ours was there, too. And Angelo's called the cops, of course. And so I woke up. It was, like, the weirdest feeling in my life. So I'm in the bathroom, right? And the next thing I know, I'm running down the street in Oceanside. Like, that was my next memory. And I literally was like, why are my feet moving? Like... And he was like, holy shit, are you okay? And like my arms were around them. And they were like dragging me away. And I guess I had started to kind of like wake up and like move along with them. Isn't that insane? But here's my point.
That's crazy.
So dead junkie is a good junkie. Sure, fine. So say I had died there in that Angelo's.
Yeah.
Now, in 2020, I own a business that keeps 8 women or however many it was employed through the pandemic. 2 of whom were single moms. And also keeps an entire community with like a piece of peace that they can go to, right? Like I ended up giving back to the community in a major way. Like if I die in that bathroom in Angelo's, right?
Yeah.
My actual community suffers.
Right.
And so the junkie that you think is better off dead might actually be the person that mentors your child in school in a few years. Yeah. Like, you don't fucking know. They're actual human beings with skills and talents.
Yeah.
And if they die on a floor, the community at large suffers because they have some talent that they're not giving to the world. Yeah. Now, the ability for me to explain that to some dumb bitch on Facebook who was just trying to be mean is like, whatever, you know, but...
Yeah, well, I think, like... I think that people... Now, I don't know if that woman, like... has like a significant other or whatever and like put her through some shit or whatever, but
that would be my guess.
Yeah, but my experience with people like that is that they've never been personally affected by it, and they'll never change that mindset until it personally affects them.
Right.
And also I just want to say, like, why is it with any other like health thing, you know, that like with this specific topic people are like, oh, they should just die or we shouldn't help them, you know what I mean? Like, what other stuff to like any other like health issue we don't have that mentality, which is like crazy. I mean, addiction is a disorder, you know what I mean? So it's like that person, like I didn't want that. I can't think of anybody
who like wanted to be a drug addict
that wanted to be like addicted. Like I was just doing what my friends were doing, you know what I mean? I was being a teenager.
Totally
You know what I mean?
I know.
And I made a dumb decision and it snowballed.
Well, and you had the genetic predisposition.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
So,
you know?
But yeah, I never wanted that.
Right.
You know what
course.
I mean? And I don't know why anybody would, because it's not glamorous. Like, I never seen somebody made it look glamorous.
It's not glamorous. And that's my argument too sometimes, like, even with our show, but certainly with Dopey, sometimes people accuse Dave of glamorizing, and he'll even wonder sometimes too. And I'm like, no, you're not. Here's my argument is that, like, if you're a real drug addict, when they hear stories, they don't think it sounds good. Right? Like if you maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a scenario where you just drank a lot and you got sober, but when you hear us talk about living outside, it sounds good. But like, I don't know that anybody thinks that going to jail sounds good. Like, I don't think telling the stories and the details are glamorizing use. I just don't.
Yeah, I think that just because of like I think they confuse with like everybody being happy or laughing.
Yes.
And they
shit. Yeah. It's if you're funny, and some of it's funny.
Yeah. Well, but I think they misconstrue that as like people glamorizing it. It has nothing to do. Most people are laughing because they relate to it, and you're not.
Or we're laughing at how dumb we were. Yeah, that's a lot of what I'm doing. Yeah. Like, dude, can you fucking believe this?
No, and I get that, but I know people say that. I don't know. People are dumb, Jeannine.
I know. Okay, last question. This is a really good one.
Okay.
Which one of you has a better chance of surviving a zombie apocalypse based on the skills acquired during your addiction?
Oh, damn. I mean, we're both from, like,
dirty.
The dirty. Like, bumfuck Egypt.
I think we would both survive.
Do you think
I'd survive?
I think you could. I mean,
it's hard for me to say because you're a guy. You could physically fight someone and I can't.
Yeah.
But I also think, I think I could survive. Do you think I could survive?
I think you could. I mean, I don't know what your upbringing was like in the South. You know what I mean? But I think.
Not like yours.
Yeah, no, probably wasn't like mine. But I mean.
But my homelessness was more than yours.
Yeah, so I think you could definitely. I think that is like surviving out in the street would probably benefit you a lot.
Right.
I think you.
Oh, but you can like shoot and shit.
Well, I mean, I can shoot. I know how to like trap animals.
Okay.
I mean, I could.
So probably you.
I can fish with a stick and some string and I mean, catch crawdads and shit.
I would just follow you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can trap animals in the woods.
Yeah. I can skin a pig with my hands and
crazy.
Like, take the guts out and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Has your dad ever been bitten by one of those snakes? He's always picking up snakes.
I don't know how in the fuck he gets him. But when I look at look at my brother and I see how stupid we are, I'm like, it's like, because my dad's over here picking up snakes and me and my brother are blowing ourselves up in a fucking truck. Like, what the fuck?
Right, totally.
Yeah, no, he's never gotten bit, but he's like a snake whisperer or something. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm surprised the snake handling churches they hadn't hired him to get the
snakes for the church.
Shit, so they can like praise God and shit. Yeah, he'd be a good side hustle.
Okay, so this is also this is going to kind of be a little bit of a Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
So, because we're in November, we're in the holiday season-ish.
Yeah.
So I have a story that I have never told on the pod.
Okay.
Because I've been really afraid to use this person's name.
Okay.
Because she is one of the most notorious 90s, early 2000s people ever. But she didn't do anything wrong in this situation. She didn't do any drugs. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it would make her like look bad.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you who it is. And if y'all hear a beep, it's because Nate decided I shouldn't use her name.
Okay.
But it's Monica Lewinsky. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll tell you the story and then you can decide.
Yeah,
I went on a double date with her. I spent all night with her.
Oh, this is juicy as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I've always wanted to tell it.
Yeah, let's hear the story first.
All right, okay. Yeah. So she's from like a really wealthy family, right? In Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And she was dating this guy, and I was dating his very good friend. Off and on. Dating is probably a strong word, but we were like hanging out. And they're all very rich. And he texted me one night and he was like, hey, and we have the opportunity to go on a double date with like the most notorious woman of like our time. Guess who it is? And of course I'm like Britney Spears, right? Because it's 2008.
Right.
And he's like bigger. I'm like fucking Lindsay Lohan. He's like bigger, more notorious. Think notorious. And I'm like, I don't know. And then finally he tells me Monica Lewinsky. And I'm like, get the fuck out. And he's like, I swear to God, so-and-so's dating her. They've been hanging out for a little while. And they want to do a double date. And it was the night before Thanksgiving, 2009. The night before Thanksgiving. We make a dinner reservation for us and Monica Lewinsky and this guy. And I'm like, holy shit. And I was like actually really kind of excited to meet her because I was thinking maybe she would like take my spin classes or something, you know?
Yeah.
So we go and meet up with them for dinner. And this is when she was like pretty heavy, which is also why I was thinking maybe she would like take my spin classes. So we're sitting there at dinner and like everybody that walks by is like staring at her. The server, when he walks up, like double takes and looks at her, and everybody in the restaurant is staring at her, obviously. And so we all start drinking, and the three of us drank a lot. And I don't know if she drank that much, like I don't know. But the only thing I'll say is that she got hammered. She was like drunk. And we weren't as drunk because we were all like really heavy drinkers, right?
Right.
So
was y'all doing cocaine?
Well, not yet.
Okay, I knew it. I just
of course.
So I just had to figure out.
The story with me and Los Angeles Coke's coming.
Okay.
So I actually didn't bring any with me, but so we go to the back to the guy that's seeing her's house, and we're all like sitting, and it's like this giant mansion. And we're all sitting there talking, and she's like kind of sitting on his lap. And I decided I wanted to go drive and pick up something. So I leave and drive over to Culver City from where we were and like get a bag of Coke and come back. And when I come back, they've gone to bed. And again, I want to be careful with what I say about her, but like she was being really weird with me. She was like flirting with the guy that I was seeing and seemed to be a little bit weird with my relationship with the guy that she was dating. Like she was just being like kind of like odd with me. Like it was clear she was not going to be like taking my spin classes, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this chick doesn't like me at all, dude. Like this is not, we're not connecting here. So I go get some blow, come back. They've gone to bed. And this place was a legit mansion. So there was like a whole wing of the house that had its own, like a wing of the house. And there was a giant room and a bathroom. So there's a bathroom and a little room with a toilet. And I'm sitting backwards on the toilet, right? With some lines cut like on the lid. And it's like, I don't know, 4 a.m. And all of a sudden, so I'm sitting like this, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and the door for the toilet room is open, but the door into the bedroom is shut. And it's like the 9th bedroom in this house, right? Like I'm like far away.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear boom, boom, and the bathroom door busts open, and I look up and she's standing there staring at me, and she goes, I knew it.
What?
Yes. And I was like, oh shit. And like no one knew what I was doing, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. So I jump up and I'm like grabbing all my stuff, and she goes taking off, and I run out into it was like one of these like mansion style homes that have like stairs go up, and then there's a balcony, right? So like you can see it from the main floor, like a mezzanine, like an old school Southern mansion, you know, like where you walk in, you can look up.
Yeah.
So I go running out. Both the guys come from the other side of the mansion where they were staying, and they're both running out. And the guy that was seeing her was like, dude, what happened? And I said, I don't know. And the guy I'm dating just looked at me like, he was like, he fucking knew. He was like, I know she was doing fucking coke in that bathroom. You know what I mean? He's like, why was I by myself?
Yeah.
And his buddy was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, what happened? And he was like, Monica just ran screaming out of the house. And we look downstairs, the front door is open. And all of a sudden we hear, and take off. She jumped in her car and drove away.
What the fuck?
I know.
Or did she have a phobia of coke?
I don't know.
Did she like?
I never saw her again.
Did she get like diarrhea from looking at it?
I never saw her again. I don't know, and I never admitted what I did, right? Because I wasn't supposed to be like doing coke.
Right.
And so,
I mean, it's Hollywood. Who fucking doesn't do coke up there, dude?
fucking everyone in my life at that time, like,
Didn't?
No, you didn't. Everyone was always so mad at me for doing cocaine. Everybody in my life, was like, it wasn't as big at that time. It's had a resurgence.
Yeah.
At that time, it was like, also the guys I was dating were always really annoyed by it.
Really?
You know, I'm up all night. I'm spending a bunch of money. You know,
I get
they were
that.
always annoyed.
Yeah.
And he was too.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know. I don't even remember what my reason was for being over there. But I remember walking back to my room and I was like, dude, I just got like screamed at by Monica Lewinsky in a bathroom in LA for doing cocaine. Like, it's like the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in my fucking life. Isn't that weird?
That's very fucking weird.
I know.
I was hoping you were like gonna do some lines with her and shit.
No. Bam!
She fucking like SWAT team kicked that bitch.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
And I looked at her and she went, I knew it. And I was like, and I don't even know what that meant. I mean, doing coke, obviously.
I mean, well, yeah, but like, was she looking at you all night? It was like, oh, this bitch does coke. You know what I mean?
It didn't.
You know, like, what?
She was
like,
definitely.
what?
I know. Isn't that so
like,
strange?
What?
I know.
Like, how do you. What about you just like, unless like.
And I was teaching fitness at the time. I definitely didn't look homeless or anything.
Well, yeah, but what about you like.
Screamed cocaine?
Screamed like cocaine. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Maybe,
isn't that weird?
Maybe she was like watching you or something. Like, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't even know that.
But they'd already gone to bed.
Did you have like a key or like an earring to like do like bumps with or anything like that?
No.
Nothing like that.
No.
That's just crazy.
No, that's why I was in the bathroom. I was flat out like putting it down.
She came in there like the damn Kool-Aid man, huh?
Yes,
Hell yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I know, and I've never told that story on the show.
It sounds like she did some lines before she kicked the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck does that?
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, who the fuck does that?
Okay, so do you think I can leave her name in?
I mean, I kind of want to be like, fuck it, because that's fucking hilarious.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Also, it doesn't like...
I don't think... It
doesn't say anything bad about her.
No, you're not...
She didn't do the drugs. I'll say that all day.
Yeah.
The only thing she definitely drank a bit.
Yeah.
But, like, she didn't do anything illegal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you're assassinating her character.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Fucking, do it.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking hilarious.
Isn't that insane?
That would have been fucking kind of cool, but kind of like...
No, it kind of was. Like,
yeah.
In the back of my mind for 10 years or however long it's longer.
Yeah.
I've, like, it's like this wild, great story that Monica Lewinsky screamed at me at 4 a.m. for doing cocaine in a mansion in Hancock Park. And I don't tell anybody because I'm scared. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell anybody. No, I have definitely told people over the years.
Yeah.
But I also haven't wanted to tell anyone because I think it sounds so wild. It sounds like I'm making it up.
No, I mean, I don't. And I've never known of you to like, you know what I mean?
I know, but I'm always waiting for someone. I can't believe people believe me ever. Like, some of my stories are so fucking crazy. I'm shocked nobody ever says, like, this bitch can't be telling the truth. But
right.
In 2018, Skylar went with me to go to my 20-year high school reunion.
Right.
I'm going to take out that it was my 20 year. Skylar went home with me to go to a high school reunion. Doesn't matter what year it was. And we're in the line at Hartsfield International Airport, waiting in the Hertz line to rent a car.
Right.
As we're winding through the line, I see the guy she was on the date with, who I stayed friends with for a while, in line. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if he's going to recognize me or not, right? It was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But if he does, I finally have a fucking witness to this story. Because Skylar knew the story.
Yeah.
And so as we get closer to each other, we're both coming this way. He sees me, and as we got closer, he was like, Jeannine Coulter, all grown up. Because they're like a lot older than me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, oh my God, I didn't know if you'd recognize me. And he was like, of course I recognize you. And he doesn't live here. He lives in LA. So for us to see each other in that Atlanta Hertz rental car line was wild. And I was like, well, I've got you here. This is my boyfriend. We weren't married yet. I was like, this is my boyfriend. And can you just confirm that you did, in fact, date Monica Lewinsky and I went on a double date with you once? Because I don't even tell the story because I think it's going to sound insane. And he started laughing and he was like, yep, I did. That's true. And Sky looked at me and he was like, I always believed you. And I was like, well, whatever. If anybody ever doesn't, you're my fucking witness, you know?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I know.
It's pretty, like, out there.
I know.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's my Thanksgiving. It was the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I got all fucked up that, you know, like the next day I finally went home. And I remember, Burger King had a special burger that had mashed potatoes on it for Thanksgiving. And I got a Thanksgiving Burger King mashed potato burger, and it was so gross. And I spent my Thanksgiving alone, fucking hungover from Coke, thinking about Monica Lewinsky yelling at me, eating a burger with mashed potatoes on it by myself.
That sounds pretty rough. damn, that's. I don't even know about mashed taters on a burger, but
It sounded kind of good, but it was terrible.
It sounds horrible.
Yeah, okay.
Did you at least have like some gravy to throw on it?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I think I just got like fries with it. I don't know. It was their Thanksgiving special, and I was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm on my laptop. It was like,
you sound like a fucking hot mess. Like, what the? You were just like Monica Lewinsky just discombobulated your ass. You're all fucked up.
Is that crazy?
Your brain's like misfiring from that encounter.
Well, that was actually just like a regular Friday for me. But but add to it, as I'm sitting there, I was like, I can't believe that happened.
Oh, that would be like, is this real? Like one of those moments where like you freeze and it's like, is this like really fucking?
That's what happened. I'm backwards on the toilet and I was like, and I looked back and I was like, how is this real?
Wait. Did you like lose any coke or anything like that?
No.
Oh, okay, I was making sure because that's an important question.
No. I think I did because I already had it back in my bra.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked the guy, right? So like I wasn't trying to get caught with it. And so it was back in my bra. And if I did anything, if there was anything left, I maybe would have wiped it, but not a lot, right? Like if there was still a line, I would have done it before I got up.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. Because by the time I got to the stairs, she was gone. She was out the door. In the car.
That's so crazy.
And left.
Just like off the record, I think I can hear Tank snoring through these. I swear to God, I think I can hear him.
I'm sure you can.
I can hear him snoring.
And that'll be on the record. We'll leave that on the record.
Yeah,
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, because I'm like, am I breathing that heavy or what the fuck is that noise?
No, and he's all the way over there, and you can hear him.
Yeah, I swear.
I know. Okay, so do you have any advice for people that are trying to stay sober over the holidays? Because as you and I spoke about, I fucking always hated the idea that it was like hard to stay sober at the holidays. I thought it was such a cliche and I didn't want to be that. But the reality is that is actually true. Yeah, it is harder.
It can be, yeah.
Especially if you don't live at home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're by yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend?
Well, I mean, I'll say from my experience, just like being out here, I mean, for one, I'm not from here. I have no family here. You know, I moved across the country like by myself.
Right.
You know, it can definitely be hard. It's just not the same because, like, you know, you grow up, you have traditions, you do things, you have like meals and comfort food, and you know, you go eat at the same place and you do the routine, and it's like comforting. It's very soothing.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it was just like kind of just recreating that. And I think at first, most people are going to be like, it's not the fucking same. And well, no shit. It's new. You know what I mean? So it's not going to feel that way. But you can recreate that with like new people. So we would always
That's a really good idea.
Like buddies and I, like we would cook like a bunch of food and like all get together and things like that, you know, and kind of do our own thing and have like, you know, make our own tradition. And the thing about it is like, you don't necessarily have to do what your family did. You know, you can do whatever you want. You can do some crazy shit if you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And just kind of do that. And, you know,
that's a good idea. You can recreate traditions.
Yeah,
you totally
you can start your own tradition. You know what I mean? And, I'm not saying you can replace family because all that stuff is like very soothing. You know, because that's all you've known since you've grown up. And but yeah, we just did things like that. And I don't know. I mean, back then I went to a lot of meetings. You know, obviously now I don't go to that many meetings. But I would say I had a sponsor tell me one time, he was like, the best meetings you'll ever go to is like if it's pissing rain or snowing like hell. You know what I mean? So during like the holidays, like go to just like
or the marathons.
Yeah, just
that's
like,
what I was
go to
say.
The marathon. I mean, if you sit there long enough, like you're gonna get tired or like something. You'll go to sleep. You take a nap. There'll be food there. You know.
And there'll be food there.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. There are always 12-step meeting marathons near you, and if for some reason you're somewhere where there aren't, there will be some online. Yeah, there will
Zoom.
be meeting. Yeah, there will be Zoom meeting marathons online for sure. That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the thing that a lot of people do is they just want to sit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's like I mean, sometimes, you know, that's
like just sit at home.
Yeah, they want to sit and mope and stuff like that, or they like God forbid you get on the pity pot. You know what I mean? Which I understand. I'm not like making fun of anybody. Like I've done it before, but it's just the best thing to do is to just move.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes that can be very hard.
Yeah.
But I think once you move and you go do something, You know, and if you like show up to an event and you just start like, you could be plating food or something like that, you know, where they're, you know, like, or, you know, go help somebody, go out on the street on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If you're struggling.
Like volunteer, you mean?
And I guarantee you won't be thinking about your problems.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Yeah. That's true.
That's probably like my favorite thing to do is like go do that on the holidays.
Yeah. No, that's really good advice. Well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
I mean, we got an NDPE.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. I can't believe I forgot.
I know.
How did I forget?
No, it's not on yours. It's on my phone. Yeah, because I think they tried to send it to you, but you didn't respond or whatever.
Oh, well, then we have more than one. Because I definitely have one on my phone, too. I got a good one on my phone.
Do you?
Yeah.
You want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I'll do mine first.
Okay, rad.
That is him snoring. That's him snoring. He's so cute.
He's so loud.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. He's like a biscuit. I hope this wasn't cutting my head off the whole time. Okay, I don't think it was.
He's so loud.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to play this and hopefully I think the mic will just pick it up. Okay.
Alright, so my near-death poo experience was, so when you do opiates, right, you don't poo. That's just a known fact, okay? And when I got arrested, I'd been on like 32 milligrams of Suboxone for years, and then intermittently a bunch of other opiates. Long story short, it had been about 4 weeks since my last bowel movement, and so I'm in jail for the first time, and there's these the way the dorm was set up, there was 2 long rows of bunk beds, 48 men doubled up, 24 beds doubled up, so 48 men on each side, and at the top was the shitters, the bathrooms, the showers, and then the shitters are right next to them, completely open, facing everyone. So you had to take shit in front of all these grown-ass men, right? So, you know, it had been a week I'd been there. I still hadn't pooed, and then one night it just came on me. All right, the train was leaving the station immediately, and so I got on the toilet, put my jumper down, and when I tell you I was giving birth, right, like I could not help. It hurt so bad. I mean, this was painful, and everybody knew I was coming off a dope, so that, you know, there was some snickers, but, you know, people understood what was going down, right? And I finally, all right, when I get this thing out, I am not being facetious, I am not exaggerating. It was roughly the size, diameter of a Pringles can with like the density of like the clay that you got in high school art class, okay? This thing was a monster, dude. And so I just pressed flush, and nothing hit. The water went down, and that son of a bitch just stayed there like the rock of Gibraltar, right? The shit of Gibraltar. And I was like, and now at this point, it thing stinks, dude. And everyone's like, dude, flush that shit, white boy. And I was like, I can't. I don't know. I can't. What do I do? And they're like, you better push that thing down. I was like, with what? They said, your hands, bitch. I was like, no way, dude. So I found some, I'm like recovering. My body's recovering. And I found like a JCPenney ad from a newspaper. And I, with both hands, crammed this poo down the toilet, dude. And probably it took like 4 flushes. And finally, like, that was one of the lowest points in my life where I was in front of 48 men pushing a gigantic shit down a prison toilet with my hands. And that was my near-death poo experience.
Also, just so you guys know, that was Jed, host of the podcast Church and Other Drugs.
Okay.
I was just a guest on his show.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And he told me that story.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, can you please call that into my show?
Yeah.
I'm going to see Nate on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So shout out Church and Other Drugs podcast. Jed is amazing. He's the one that tried to grow meth on a rope.
Yeah,
That's him.
Yeah, like rock candy or some shit.
Yeah. He thought meth bong water would potentially grow meth crystals.
Nice.
So did you get one too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So I'll have to find it. I remember it, but I don't know where it's at.
Okay.
Let me see.
Oh, I'm glad somebody sent one to you too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't find it, but I can tell you the story. So
Okay.
I can tell you the story. So this is from Elise, and basically the story is like they were doing dope in Florida. They were doing like OC80s, like, you know, like the OGs, you know, and they got constipated, right? And, you know, and it built up and built up and built up and built up. They took a shit and they ripped their asshole and, you know, bled profusely and all that things. But but they like ripped their asshole pretty much. And prior to that, Elise didn't like anal. And ever since that, she ripped her asshole. She loves it.
Oh no! Come on, are you serious?
Dead serious. That's what she said. Like the gifts of recovery, right?
Is that how she said it? That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't say gifts of recovery. Like I threw that in. I mean, but I think that's a gift of recovery. I mean, but that's what they said.
That's hilarious.
I fucking lost it. I think that's fucking hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Like, yeah, she was like, yeah, like before, like, well, I mean, I don't even like if you're clogged up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, is it even possible? Yeah.
Well, no. What she means is now it's stretched her butt.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking like before that. No, I get that. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like before, if you're like all clogged up and stuff like that, I'm like thinking, huh.
Well, not at those times.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, right.
For sure.
Yeah,
no.
I'm like, I don't even think like that's gonna work.
No.
But
the gay guys at Choices told me that like if they had like a date or something, they would use like enemas for a while.
They flush. Yeah.
If it was like a new boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
Like I think that's something you definitely like have to be careful of.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, do you remember the suppositories I sent you that my aunt had?
Yes.
I found those. I'm like, damn, like this would have been great to have.
Also, somebody DM'd the show, and I was saying I didn't know what an enema was.
Yeah.
And she said it's basically like a douche for your butt if you're constipated.
Yeah.
And it was like, right. Okay, that's what those guys were talking about at Choices.
Yeah, exactly what it is. Yeah. But I guess sometimes NDPEs like bless you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess
a blessing in disguise.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it works out, Jeannine.
I guess. You got anything else for me, man?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I hope everybody has a good day.
Yeah, they're going to hear it probably the week before. But
the week before? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but y'all, you know, be good to yourselves over the holidays.
Yeah.
Go to meetings.
If you need any baked goods tested for drugs, you can mail them to me and I'll test them.
Not that there would be fentanyl in baked goods.
No, but if you just suspect, you can just mail them to me. I'll personally test them.
I get you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll test them for you.
You'll test the cookies?
Yeah, yeah, and I like peanut butter fudge, if anybody's wondering.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's very helpful for people.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming over again.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.